We've got some updates in the ongoing conflict between Israel and Gaza as Israel rages on with its genocidal actions, further eradicating the Palestinian people, causing more displacement and erasing their culture, as despite largely falling out of media cycles, Israel has not stopped its cycle of destruction. So I wanted to use this segment as a bit of update as to what's been going on, and we've got a few attacks that we can look at just this weekend, including an attack from Israel that hit 2 refugee camps. Do you remember when Biden in America said, the red line would be the Rafah refugee camp? If they attack refugees, that's the red line. We're going to stop supporting them. Well, now they've done it to multiple. They just did it to 2 more this weekend. And guess what? We're still sending them bombs. I mean, that's kind of crazy, isn't it? They killed multiple children in this attack and a total of 12 Palestinians, all of whom were civilians. But with at least 3 children killed, that's 1 child for every 4 adults. Again, none of which being Hamas. So what was the point of this attack? And bombs were landing on the homes of civilians as well. Additionally, there was an attack that killed 26, including a U.S. Turkish activist who was killed during a protest, oddly striking similar to March of Return type vibes, which is also important to note that 23 Palestinians were arrested simply for trying to return to their workplace, now surely being held without charge, like thousands of other Palestinian civilians, all subject to the same rape and torture that has been widely reported to go on in these Israeli prisons. By any standard, though, it's more like they're hostages, not prisoners, again, being held without charges, like thousands of Palestinians. And in one of the last remaining refugee safe zones, a high tide, this one, actually not Israelis' fault. Well, it's kind of Israel's fault if you consider why they're there in the first place, but not directly here, as a high tide came up on shore and destroyed dozens of tents that were set up near the shore, further displacing the people who were living in those tents, who are now left with practically nowhere else to go, and their homes are clearly not an option, either through being destroyed or the threat of being destroyed, right? It also should be noted that Yemen fired a missile into Israel shortly after, warning of additional attacks, though the missile most likely fragmented in midair, and only 9 people were injured while trying to get to protected areas. As of now, none of which have died or in critical condition, the benefit of Israel having their hospitals intact and such, as Netanyahu has promised to exact a heavy price for this attack, meaning tons of civilians are probably going to die as a result, and tons of children, probably going to die, because that's who Netanyahu has shown that he is. The peace talks between the 2 groups have continued to stall, with the last time that they were close to reaching an agreement, Israel, of course, killed the man who was sitting at the table negotiating on Hamas's side. So it does seem rather unlikely that any real progress is going to be made anytime soon, as now over 40,000 Palestinians have been killed in under a year, which represents 2% of their population, which, for reference, is double the percent of the population killed in Iraq in 20 years. It's equal to the Syrian civil war casualties after 13 years, 4 times that of the Yugoslavia wars in 10 years, and 5 times that of the Russia-Ukraine conflict in 2 years. So it's a pretty significant portion of their population in a pretty significantly small fragment of time, again, overwhelmingly being civilians, of that overwhelmingly being women, children, and the elderly. So as I often ask in these videos, when will be enough? What will be enough for us, for Israel, for the international community? When will a stop be put to this genocide? If you enjoyed this video, we're Social Society. We're a commentary channel influenced by politics, society, and the economy. We are pretty left-leaning on this channel, but we're open to our right-wingers as well. The biggest thing here is having conversations that get everyone to the bottom of the truth. If that sounds like something that could interest you, consider smashing that subscribe button, leaving us a like, or even commenting on this video. We even have memberships available as low as $3 if you'd like to support, because the only way we become a society is together. Peace.